So this video is for part 2, marriage and family life, and it's specifically for marriage. Okay, so first thing could be asked is to describe a Catholic wedding ceremony. Okay, so if this is the case, the first thing that you need to remember is how the priest welcomes everyone as a witness. Okay, everyone is a witness as what's called to the what is taking place. Then the priest states that the marriage is a special sacrament and that God will become part of that marriage. I'd probably combine those two things together. Then there are readings from the Bible and a short talk, all right, or sermon about the nature of a Christian marriage. All right, these readings will often sort of focus on love, commitment, etc. Following this, the vows are then exchanged, okay, and these commit the couple together for a lifetime of marriage. The next one is that rings are exchanged, okay, and the ring, as I sort of showed on my hand there, is a circle. It is a symbol of the fact that the marriage is everlasting, okay. Then, following this, prayers are said to ask for God's blessing, okay, and the Holy Spirit upon the couple, all right, and this is called the nuptial blessing, all right, need to use that key terminology, all right, the nuptial blessing. From this point, all right, or finally, you could say if you want that, communion, okay, that everyone takes communion, but for this wedding, that you need to remember that the couple, all right, that they take communion, and this unites the couple with Christ and each other, all right. Right at the very end, all right, you don't have to mention it, but you can if you want, that the couple sign the register along with witnesses so that it is not only a marriage in God's eyes, but also in the eyes of the law. Now, if you get asked, all right, to explain the purpose of marriage with Catholics, then remember spells, okay, or for this, because you need four, remember spell, S-P-E-L, okay? So, the first purpose of what's called of a marriage with Catholic is that it is a sacrament, okay? So it's a sacrament, so you can talk about how God becomes part of the marriage, all right? And that so that it's a sacrament that God becomes part of the marriage, so it gives it that solidity, okay? It means that their relationship together is stronger and is united with God, okay? So the impact of that, right, is that it helps them to understand that it can never be broken unless it is broken by God also, all right? So it reminds them of the sort of the everlasting nature of their marriage. This leads on quite nicely to the P. The P stands for permanent, all right, so that's one of them, and this can be seen throughout the Mass, all right, but what's called the nuptial blessing, focus on how it's an end in love, all right, and talk about the ring, okay, as being a symbol that shows that marriage is until death do us part, okay, that is a symbol that we are of everlasting love, I suppose, and everlasting commitment, all right, so. And that's the reason why Catholics reject divorce. The other one, so that's SP and then E, stands for exclusive. The fact that marriage is between the couple and that they will ensure that they do not commit adultery. All right, and that's obviously one of the 10 Commandments, to not commit adultery. All right, so you can talk there about how that is a feature of the readings and the prayers and the vows. Okay, so that is where you really see that part coming through. When it comes to the L, all right, that's life-giving, okay, and this comes through in what's called in the nuptial blessing in particular, okay, as well as sort of it's there in the vows, all right, that you are open to the possibility of having children and, importantly, raising them as Catholics, raising them in the faith, all right, so that is what's called, it's that marriage is the idea of the fact that your responsibility now as a married person is to ensure that you recognize your responsibility to continue to build the church, okay, to grow the church. Now, if you get asked what's called the evaluation question about whether marriage is important in today's society, all right, then you've obviously got quite a few things you can talk about, all right. So some people, like Catholics, would disagree with the statement, obviously, all right. They say that marriage is still important, okay, as a focus of marriage is to create children, all right, because the Catholic Church teaches that sex must always be open to the three purposes of sex, which are obviously to bond the married couple, to procreate, and for pleasure. Okay, so therefore Catholics would argue that, you know what, marriage is important if you want to have children or and continue to grow the Catholic faith. All right. Another one is that Catholic is important because it's a public, permanent commitment to one another. This is because obviously you do it in front of witnesses, but also that there's legality to it as well, in the eyes of God, but also in the eyes of the law. All right, so it is important. So it helps to keep people together. So therefore, that is why people, they sign the register. What's called they sign essentially a certificate, if you want, right? Their marriage certificate, to say that they are a married person. All right, so it helps to keep a couple together. On the other hand, some people would say that no, because marriage is no longer viewed as being permanent. All right, or what's called everlasting, because divorce has become a common feature in today's society. All right, so therefore these people would say that marriage isn't taken as seriously in today's society, so the impact on it is that less people are getting married as well. All right, so divorce and lack of marriage. The other one is that it's becoming more commonplace that wedding vows are commonly broken. All right, so unfortunately, what I'm talking about here is adultery. Okay, so therefore people would argue that the sort of exclusive nature of marriage, unfortunately, is less and less common in today's society, which makes a bit of a mockery of marriage, if you want, and that is why more and more people are deciding not to get married. Now, you could be asked what I would call a bit of a stinker of a question for this, okay? And it's the procedure of a Catholic marrying a non-baptized person, all right? So, firstly, all right, so if you had to explain this or describe the process, all right, obviously it's your 4 points. Right, so there's a couple of key things here. The first one links to something that's called disparity of the cult. All right, so this is going to require a bit of revision if you are going to know this well. All right, so if one of the partners is not baptized, all right, so if they belong to a non-Christian religion or to none, a dispensation for disparity of the cult is required. So the bishop essentially must give permission for the marriage to take place. Okay, bishop's got to give permission for it, and this is called disparity of the cult. The second thing is that the priest who is marrying the couple will judge each couple's case, all right? So it's his duty to ensure that the Catholic partner's faith is not placed in jeopardy, okay? So they've got to make sure that that one of the married couple is going to continue to be a Catholic, and that the partner respects sort of that part of their life and allows that person to remain committed, okay? So if a priest thought that was okay, then they would be able to get married in the Catholic Church. Thirdly, all right, the couple must prove that they are making the decision for themselves. All right, so I suppose it's just quite a normal sort of one. Is that it's called that they cannot be forced into the marriage. All right, their vows that they've got to be from themselves. All right, that there's no sort of coercion. All right, trying to sort of push someone into the marriage. Same thing as the nature of marriage. This one really is that the couple must agree for their marriage to be exclusive and permanent. All right. And then finally is that they've got to be open to procreation. All right. And that the Catholic member of the marriage has got to promise that they will do all within their power to raise their child as a Catholic. All right. Because that is one of the main purposes of marriage. Okay. So really, all right, what you're thinking of here is exactly the same. All right, the procedure of doing it is that the priest has got to identify essentially that their marriage is going to be permanent, exclusive, and life-giving. And by life-giving, raised as a Catholic as well. All right, the two sort of extra years that the bishop has got to grant what's called disparity of the cult. All right, by looking at the marriage and saying that whether it's okay or not. And the priest also has a role in judging whether the marriage should take place. All right, he looks at sort of individual cases to make sure that the Catholic's faith is not placed in jeopardy. And the other thing that was on there is that you've got to make sure that the person is making a decision for themselves, all right, not forced into it. But that's pretty common sense. So that concludes what's called the Catholic views on marriage.